Yo, yo, what it do? It's a beautiful sunny Wednesday, and we are about what 2 days away from the closing of Canelo versus Crawford, right? The final presser, I believe it's going to be in Las Vegas, right? Or is it Los Angeles, Las Vegas? And so I wanted to talk about today, before I forget, if you guys remind me, but today we were on Senor Rapstar's channel talking about, or he was trying to justify the importance of Turkey Al-Sheikh in the game, right? The whole Saudi Arabian sports washing. Rep's my guy, man. He knows what's up, man. He's pretty much saying what I've been saying all along. So shout out to Rep Star. Go check out his channel, Rep Star Boxing Now. It's a really, really good channel. Really, really good guy. Probably the funniest in the game, to be honest. But let me focus on Errol Spence, right? Because Errol Spence, once upon a time, was the guy at 147, right? Welterweight. Unfortunately, Errol Spence had a car crash in which luckily he survived. Okay, guys, think of it like Vinny Paz or rest in peace, Salvador, Chava Sanchez, who died in a car crash at a young age. I believe Salvador Sanchez died at the age of 22, right? The point is, guys, car crashes of that type of magnitude, lucky, man, if you survive. All right. So I guess the weird thing is that Errol Spence in this last presser, right, with Canelo in New York, he and Canelo, and I guess everybody on the panel were talking about how good is no, I guess Canelo said that at the quote elite level, Crawford hasn't really seen that type of action, right? And so Crawford had to justify his resume with Ricky Burns. He brought up Victor Postal, which to Crawford's part, you know, to his right and the truth, I would say Ricky Burns was a good win, right? Three-weight world champion. And then, of course, Victor Postal was undefeated when he fought him. And these fights were at 140 pounds, if I recall. Unfortunately, Victor Postal lost to like guys like Jose Ramirez. He lost to Josh Taylor and so forth. But it's just strange that Terrence Crawford didn't mention Errol Spence because, in theory, Errol Spence is Terrence Crawford's his best win so far, right? So think about that, guys. Like, why wouldn't you itch? Why wouldn't you itch to say that Errol Spence was elite for the public, for the guys? This is Netflix, man. You would want fans to know who Errol Spence is, right? Acknowledge that. So, guys, my theory is this, man. Yo, boxing is the Wild West. There's dark things going behind. If you guys know me, I've been saying it for the longest. Shout out to Errol Spence for trying to make the best bag that he could or can, right? After his car crash. 'Cause I think there's a lot of things that weren't disclosed. Busted up jaw, his eyeball, torn retina, all this, Errol Spence pretty much slurred or mumbled speech afterwards, right? We know that. But whatever. If a doctor advises you to quit the game, you don't necessarily have to do that. It's advised, of course, but I think Errol Spence said, you know what? I'm going to try and get this bag. Who knows? I would probably too. Most of you would probably do it as well. But here's the kicker, guys. I think Terrence Crawford, behind the scenes, they knew the condition of Errol Spence, and I think that's what Terrence Crawford took advantage of. Is it Terrence Crawford's fault? No. Bud Crawford was not given the Pacquiao fight. He had to settle for like a Jeff Horn. So I do believe that Crawford probably wanted the best out of Errol Spence, but he knew Errol Spence was not tip top. Let me do a quick shout out to my guys, Trump 2024, Adam. Yeah, Tank Davis would knock him out. Tank Davis would knock who out? Talking about Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford? But anyways, guys, um, think about why Terrence Crawford wouldn't acknowledge Errol Spence as an elite fighter in front of Netflix, in front of the whole world, in front of Canelo. Guys, Terrence Crawford said to the public that when he saw the noise that Errol Spence was building up against a Canelo, he said, "You know what? I'm not that much different from an Errol Spence. I could fight Canelo too, right?" So the opportunities here. We got Turkey at the sheep. We got the Saudis throwing some nice ass bags, and everybody's got to go with the Saudis. And that's where we are, guys, at this point. And I'm just curious why. Maybe. Oh yeah, I'll get to my point or my theory. I think Bud Crawford knew, guys. Focus on this. Pay attention. I think Terrence Crawford knew that Errol Spence was not the same, and that's why Crawford, being the good guy that he is, I sincerely believe it. I think Crawford's a good guy that he doesn't want to take. He doesn't want to acknowledge the win because he knew of Errol Spence's condition. What else could it be, guys? Or is Terrence Crawford, riding the wave, if you will? You know, um, that's pretty much what I got right now. I'm gonna try and do this one in Spanish, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. But let me know what you guys think in the comments.